Hello, dear friends. Opinion piece. Did the big Davos reset fail? A financial reset of a different kind is on the horizon. The economy is artificially propped up. Cryptocurrencies continue to fall, gold continues to rise. Lightworker is the one who transforms the darkness. Finland is the happiest country in the world, survey finds. Let's start. The Great Davos reset would have collapsed due to opposition from Russia and China, and the recent suspension of its meeting would be the obvious proof, because it could not be done without an international consensus. The good guys are in control, but an economic battle is being fought. The central bank wants its digital currency in place, but the people have given a different option. In the end, the people will decide which way the economy will go. The Great Reset is the latest misleading euphemism for a totalitarian system being promoted by another group of wealthy corporate elitists who think they can centrally plan the entire world economy, according to Thomas Di Lorenzo. The leading figure in this movement is wealthy German engineer Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum, who advocates that he calls transhumanism. It is to say, the integration of nanotechnology into the human body, so that humans can be remotely controlled by the state. Alternative. However, a financial reset of a different, more positive kind is looming as the US exports asset bubbles and inflation, according to the Atlantic report. How long will stock prices continue to be artificially pumped? Everyone knows that the market is a mega bubble more overvalued than the historic Dutch tulip bubble. The Tulip Crisis was a period of speculative euphoria that occurred in the Netherlands in the 17th century, in the years leading up to 1637. The object of speculation was tulip bulbs, the price of which reached exorbitant levels, giving rise to a great economic bubble and a financial crisis. It is one of the first mass speculative phenomena known to exist. How long can this stock bubble run while corporate earnings are plunging? Because corporate debt is astronomical. Valuations are beyond insanity. Political polarization is at an all-time high. Real resources are limited. The economy is collapsing. Competition is intense. Stock dilutions are at the record highs. China, Russia, and many other countries are ready to get rid of the dollar as the international reserve currency. When you have a private central bank for over 100 years, it is only a matter of time before the general public suffers a total stripping of their wealth. It happened in 2008, and they want to take the rest. If they stopped printing for a week, stocks would collapse by 30%. They pretend everything is fine when they can print money to buy and prop everything up. What is a lightworker? A lightworker is not talking about love and flowers, doing yoga and going vegan. It's about going into the darkness of the world and most of all yourself. So, if you are on social media spouting this rhetoric all the time, but only have safe conversations, only care about pleasing and only being surrounded by smiles, then you have a little light. The light comes when you do the work of transmuting the darkness within you first, understanding it and coming to terms with it. No amount of hippie music, no amount of new age memes from Burning Man festivals, it's going to do that. You have to have some balls, go dark and deal with yourself first. Above all, real light workers don't talk exclusively about light and fluffy stuff. They talk about the ignored and forgotten things, the heavy, the painful, the dark, and bring light where there was little or none. Short news. Musk says he supports cryptocurrencies in battle against fiat money. Tesla CEO Elon Musk voiced his support for cryptocurrencies over fiat money on Saturday, saying he prefers cryptocurrencies. The statement lifted Bitcoin prices. The real battle is between fiat and crypto, Musk said in response to a Twitter user who asked the billionaire what he thinks of people who are mad at him about crypto. Musk added, "Ultimately, I support the latter. Fiat money is a government-issued currency that is not backed by a physical commodity, such as gold or silver, but by the government that issued it. Digital yuan not designed to displace dollar," China says. China's new sovereign digital currency is not intended to replace the US dollar as the international reserve and payment currency, but is meant to meet the needs of the Internet age, especially for retail payments. That's according to former People's Bank of China chief Zhou Xiaochuan, who also said the digital yuan shouldn't be closely linked to the internationalization of the yuan, which depends more on political decisions and openness rather than technical factors. Earthquakes in China. Earthquakes are occurring in China's far northwest near Kazakhstan are the Silk Road tunnels being blown up. New Russian Bullion Fund. The Russian government gives the green light to the accumulation of the National Wealth Fund in gold bullion. The National Wealth Fund was given the green light to diversify assets by investing in gold, as the country's Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin signed the relevant order on Friday. According to the government, the decision proposed at the end of 2020 will allow diversification of the fund's investments to ensure its security and increase returns on allocations. Economic reopening boosts oil demand. Global oil demand is recovering with the reopening of major economies amid a cautious supply approach from OPEC and moderation in U.S. shale. Barclays says. Despite the possibility of a return of Iranian oil supply and the resurgence of the health crisis in parts of Asia, global oil demand is recovering and oil inventories will normalize over the next 2 to 3 months, the UK bank said. Barclays expects the global market to run a deficit of 1.5 million barrels per day in the second half of this year. Warrantless spying by private companies. The U.S. administration is considering using private companies to conduct online surveillance of suspected domestic criminals, according to CNN. This domestic war is fraught with risk by curtailing constitutional rights and granting sweeping new powers to the federal government, former CIA officials warned. German lawmaker calls for sanctions against U.S. over Nord Stream. U.S. State Department chief spokeswoman Yelena Porter on Wednesday signaled the administration's readiness to use all available tools to try to prevent the completion of the Nord Stream 2 gas export pipeline from Russia. A German lawmaker has urged Berlin to initiate action against the U.S. for obstructing the project. Islamization of France. The problem of the Islamization of France stems from the Cold War era, when NATO allies used Islamists as a tool against the Soviet bloc, says French politician Karel Bereiken, warning that now the transatlantic alliance is about to drag France into bigger trouble. Finland is the happiest country in the world. Scandinavia remains the world's happy place, clinging firmly to the top 3 in the World Happiness Report 2020. Finland, Iceland and Denmark were named as the top 3 happiest countries in the world in the study, which is based on Gallup surveys as well as development indicators. Congo activates Goma evacuation plan as lava from erupting volcano devours roads and houses. The Democratic Republic of Congo has initiated evacuation measures in the eastern city of Goma, which is dangerously close to the erupting Mount Nyiragongo. That flowing lava has been destroying roads and houses in its path. Dr. Fauci prepares to flee. The public has expressed concern over Dr. Anthony Fauci's recent real estate acquisitions in the UK, Argentina and Panama, raising concerns that the doctor could flee the country before receiving a warrant for his arrest. YouTube to play ads in more videos and withhold taxes from creators starting June 1st. YouTube released an update to its terms of service that will go into effect June 1st, 2021, which states that the platform will have ads in more videos and may withhold taxes from payments to creators. Socrates would have been cancelled today. If the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates were alive today, he would be cancelled, tweeted Republican State Anthony Sabatini. Socrates was one of the Athens' greatest thinkers, credited with being one of the founders of Western philosophy, a critic of his serious policies who praised the ways of rival power Sparta. He was tried for disrespecting the established gods of his polis and for allegedly corrupting the minds of the young. In 399 before Christ, Socrates was executed by ingesting a poisonous hemlock concoction. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends. Have a good week.